Yeah, Paul, I want to say thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
The National Council for Science and Technology is very committed to developing an animation industry in Barbados. Heard your CEO spoke, as I said, in Trinidad a year and a half ago, and I felt that this had tremendous potential to create jobs and, more importantly, create foreign exchange and new industries. More importantly, we're not necessarily hustling through traffic on mornings, but we are able to work from our laptops right out in our homes. One of the things I'd like you to guide us on is what you see as some of the prerequisites that are required to build this sector in the shortest possible time. How do we reach out to ensure that entrepreneurs understand what is their role, and that you don't necessarily have to be a graphic artist who is also an entrepreneur to build the sector? I know you've been doing some stuff in Mexico, and we can probably learn a lot from that experience, but of course it's important for us to try to fast track and to get the most effectiveness, get the most output from these sessions with you.
Yes. Well, I've always believed that the first thing you do need is an entrepreneur with a vision and someone who's ready to find the tools that it takes to get through that vision. Those tools, I mean, are human, but they're the animators, they're the designers, they're the illustrators. They're all the ones that have always been skilled and geared towards creating the visual representation and the storylines. But to not have someone to gather them together, the coach of a team, not necessarily the best soccer player. You know, as I mentioned before, the one who opens up a garage is not the mechanic. But you need the mechanics, and you need your body shop painters, and you need all the different aspects that specialize in it. And what you would have is you identify this talent throughout, and you need those people to say, let me get the studio, let me get the possible clientele, and then let's get the artists together, be their specializations, and let's give them the tools to work with Toon software. Let's have them kind of learn it, and then let's find out who specializes the best. Maybe some people who think they were better at art found that, or creating designs, might be tremendous at animation, but they hadn't quite peeled back that part of their talent yet until they get here. The only people that bring all of these different artists and all of this different talent and components together is that entrepreneur who has that initial vision to say, my niche might be more into the market of commercials. And we're going to specialize a little bit in commercials, and we're going to bring that kind of that animation skill and the vision that people like to look at cartoons and maybe create that message through that medium. Well, he did his part. Now it's about getting the animators together and conveying that the way it's supposed to be.
The other component, as you mentioned, entrepreneurs, is that there is a view that is extremely capital intensive to build an animation business.
Right.
I know you've been involved from the level of being a consultant. You've worked on projects, on a number of different projects. You've worked with a number of companies. What do you see some of the hurdles at the level of the capital intensive nature of building a company in animation?
We use the word entrepreneur, and the direct definition is risk taker. So there's a certain amount of risk involved, but it's all about what kind of risk for reward. So you go out there and you're going to find the best, I guess, markets. I'm not too sure exactly. You're going to have to elaborate more on that question.
Well, when we look at software, accessing the appropriate software, being able to reach new markets.
Yes.
I know that you'd mentioned, for instance, through the Toon website, that there is a whole connection of different portfolios.
Great point.
I know that the Toon software is a lot more accessible in terms of the pricing, but also the entrepreneur has to factor in, how am I going to reach new markets in the shortest possible time? Let's assume, for instance, I decided that documentaries would be my specialty, and I'm going to use animation and documentaries for medicine or something like that. How could that entrepreneur springboard to new markets, to reach new audiences?
Well, mentioning Toon Boom is one of the direct links that they have, because part of their site does have a showcase page where individuals or even entrepreneurs can show some of the talent and some of the stuff they have. We have the community section, which also anyone who's looking for talent, then you can springboard into that page, and in community you have either job applications and say looking for talented animators in certain regions that could help me, go that far. Also putting in the other side where you give your portfolios in to show your talent. Now, it doesn't have to be individuals. It could be the businesses themselves that are there that are showing it. So any kind of link that you can find through the web and directing it through, let's say, using Toon Boom software, that's a specialized place. When people need animation, they're going to think Toon Boom. If they think Toon Boom, they're going to go to toonboom.com. And then once you're guided into the areas like community where they get to see what people are doing, especially in the showcase, if you have your company that's pulling off these nice commercials, let's say, or instructional videos that are done animation-wise for people who are looking for such a thing will find themselves at Toon Boom knowing about just a little bit of animation, and then going because of the high profile, because we know that it's from Disney, because Toon Boom is associated with top quality animation and all levels of animation. So once someone who's interested in following or pursuing that, they're guided and they're going to be funneled into that area. So you have areas where you can just display it without actually spending any capital for yourself. The advertisement's there for you for free.
Oh.
You just need to create the stuff.
Right. So, and I know that there are a number of festivals, animation festivals, that would also help to network the entrepreneur to new market opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
And I know one of the festivals that we're looking at as a country is Ottawa, the Ottawa
Film Festival. I've been there quite a few times, actually.
What do you see as some of the benefits that could be derived by at least just having an observer status at the film festival?
First off, it's a film festival, but secondly, there's something called TAC, T-A-C, and that's where the animation conferences happen, and everyone from globally will come and meet there. And they set up meetings. I've been part of some meetings as well, where people are discussing and finding out new things. So you get to display visually and see styles and approaches and say, this is how we're doing our thing. But then you set up meetings with other heads, other people throughout. Some people are very experienced, some people are new. But some of those very experienced people are looking for the new, exciting kind of ideas that come from different regions. If you've saturated North America, then, there's a company from Barbados that's coming. They've got their own approach, something that's fresh, something that's raw, something that's new. That's exciting for a lot of people who've already exhausted so many other areas.
Also, you have been very involved in building an animation industry in Mexico. I know that this is just your first day in Barbados, so it may be a little challenging to ask you about some of the similarities, but I suppose there will be certain things that are common to any market.